Once upon a time, in a peaceful African village, there lived a young girl named Abeni. She was known for her humble nature and kind heart. However, life had not been easy for her. After losing her parents at a young age, Abeni was taken in by her aunt, Moyo, a stern and selfish woman who treated her more like a servant than family. Each day, Abeni worked tirelessly from dawn to dusk, fetching water, tending the fields, and doing all the household chores. Despite her struggles, Abeni never let bitterness enter her heart. She often found joy in small things: the songs of the birds, the cool breeze by the river, and the kindness of strangers. One hot afternoon, as Abeni returned from the river with a heavy pot of water on her head, she noticed an elderly woman sitting under a baobab tree. The woman appeared tired and thirsty. Without hesitation, Abeni set down her water pot and offered the woman a drink. She also shared the little food she had with her. The woman smiled warmly. "You have a kind heart, my child," she said in a soft but powerful voice. "Kindness like yours does not go unnoticed. Remember this moment, for it will shape your future." Abeni didn't fully understand the woman's words, but she thanked her and went on her way. That night, as she slept, she dreamt of the old woman, who appeared surrounded by light. In the dream, the woman handed Abeni a small clay pot filled with seeds. "Plant these with care," the woman said. "They will bring you what you deserve." The magical seeds. The next morning, Abeni woke up feeling strange but hopeful. As she prepared to fetch water, she noticed a small clay pot sitting near the doorway of her hut. It looked just like the one from her dream, and inside were tiny, shimmering seeds. Abeni's heart raced. Could the dream have been real? She decided to plant the seeds in a quiet corner of her aunt's field, where no one would disturb them. Every day, Abeni watered the seeds and tended to them with care. To her amazement, the plants grew faster and healthier than anything she had ever seen. They bore large, colorful fruits that glistened as if touched by sunlight. Abeni harvested the fruits and brought them to the village market. Nervously, she set up a small stall, unsure if anyone would buy from her. But as soon as the villagers saw the vibrant, juicy fruits, they crowded around her. People praised their taste and beauty, paying her generously with coins and goods. For the first time in her life, Abeni earned her own money. She hid her earnings under her sleeping mat, careful not to let her aunt find out. Week after week, she returned to the market with more fruits, slowly building a small fortune. Moyo, however, began to grow suspicious. She noticed Abeni wearing better clothes and bringing home small luxuries like dried fish and sugar. One morning, she followed Abeni as she walked to the hidden corner of the field. When Moyo saw the lush garden filled with magical plants, her eyes widened with greed. "So, this is your secret?" she exclaimed, stepping out from her hiding spot. "These plants belong to this land, and this land belongs to me. Everything here is mine." Abeni tried to explain. "Aunt Moyo, the plants grew because I cared for them. Please don't take them." But Moyo didn't listen. She began plucking the fruits and carried them to the market, hoping to sell them for herself. However, the fruits quickly rotted before her eyes, leaving her embarrassed in front of the villagers. Furious, she returned home and threatened to destroy the garden if Abeni didn't share her wealth. That night, Abeni felt defeated. She sat by the river, unsure of what to do. As she gazed at the stars, the elderly woman from the baobab tree appeared once again. this time in person. Her presence brought a calmness to the night. "My child," the woman said gently, "your kindness has always been your strength. Do not let greed or fear take away what you have earned. These plants are a gift to you alone. Trust your heart, and you will find a way." With renewed determination, Abeni decided it was time to take control of her life. She secretly harvested the remaining fruits and planned to leave her aunt's home. She wanted to start anew, using her earnings to create a life of her own. As the first rays of dawn lit the village, Abeni packed her belongings and set off toward the horizon, carrying hope in her heart and dreams of a brighter future. Abeni left her aunt's home before anyone woke up. She carried a small bundle with her few belongings and the remaining magical fruits. With determination in her heart, she walked for hours until she reached a neighboring village. The people there welcomed her warmly. When they saw the fruits she brought, they were amazed. Abeni decided to sell the fruits at their market, just as she had in her own village. Once again, the fruits sold quickly, and she earned even more money than before. She rented a small hut and began planting her magical seeds in a new garden. This time, Abeni was free to care for the plants without fear of greed or interference. The plants flourished, and her garden became even more beautiful and abundant. News of her magical fruits spread across the region, and people traveled from faraway villages to buy them. As time passed, Abeni's small garden turned into a thriving business. She hired workers from the village, giving jobs to people who had struggled to make a living. She shared her knowledge of farming and taught others how to care for plants with love and patience. Abeni's kindness and generosity became well known. She always made sure to help those in need. Whether it was giving food to the hungry or donating money to build a new well, she never forgot her humble beginnings. One day, as she sat outside her new home, a large, beautiful hut surrounded by her gardens, Abeni saw a familiar figure walking down the road. It was her aunt, Moyo. Moyo looked tired and worn. Her clothes were tattered, and her face was filled with shame. She approached Abeni cautiously, unsure if her niece would even speak to her. "Abeni," Moyo said softly, "I have come to ask for your forgiveness. I was wrong to treat you so badly. My greed brought me nothing but misery. I am sorry." Abeni looked at her aunt for a long moment. She remembered all the pain and hardship Moyo had caused her, but she also remembered the words of the old woman under the baobab tree. "Kindness is your strength." "I forgive you, Aunt Moyo," Abeni said gently. "But forgiveness does not mean forgetting. I hope you have learned from your mistakes." She offered Moyo food and a place to rest for the night, but she made it clear that her new life was built on her own hard work and kindness, and she would not allow anyone to take advantage of it. That evening, as the sun set over the village, the elderly woman who had given Abeni the seeds appeared once more. She smiled warmly, her presence glowing with a soft light. "You have done well, my child," the woman said. "You use the gifts wisely, not just for yourself, but for others. Your kindness and humility have made you the richest woman in the village, not just in wealth, but in heart." Abeni bowed her head in gratitude. "Thank you for believing in me," she said. "Your gift changed my life." The woman nodded. "It was your spirit that changed your life, Abeni. The seeds were only a tool. Remember this as you continue your journey." With that, the woman disappeared into the night, leaving Abeni filled with peace. Over the years, Abeni's wealth and influence grew. She built schools, markets, and wells in the village, ensuring that no one would have to suffer as she had in her youth. She became a symbol of hope and generosity, and people from far and wide came to learn from her wisdom. Though she had everything she could ever want, Abeni remained humble. She often spent her evenings by the river, remembering the girl she once was and the journey that had brought her here. In the end, Abeni's life was not just a story of wealth, but of resilience, kindness, and the power of a pure heart. She proved that even the humblest beginnings could lead to greatness if one stayed true to their values.